Good morning and good luck, and welcome back to Good Luck with Gino, episode 31. If you're joining us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I want to make sure you're subscribed. So make sure you got that going on. Hit the subscribe button, give it 5 stars, send it to your friends and family, leave a nice comment in there to tell others how you feel. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, because today I'm looking like a fucking Kardashian. I'm in tan on beige. We got the brown tinted Cardis. I mean, I couldn't look better. I look like a woodsman. I look like I'm a stylish Bon Iver right now. And if you get that full experience when you're on YouTube, right? You get to see the diamonds dancing like a Lizzo backup dancer in Amsterdam right after shoving a banana or eating a banana out of a stripper's coochie. And that's only if you're watching on YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube, you're going to hit the like button. You're going to make sure you're subscribed. You're going to leave a comment. And you're going to share it with a loved one. Now that we got the intros out of the way, and you didn't skip that because it's rude to skip intros, let's talk about the week, huh? My health journey update, since everybody's been wondering about it. I know it's been the talk of the town for the past week. Gino's cutting out French fries. Gino's eating healthier. His jawline looks even more chiseled. It's going good. I think I've lost a pound, maybe. Now, let me make sure my phone is silenced. We're chugging right along. We're still eating good. I'm drinking this, what the fuck is this? It's called Bashi. Now, I don't think this is healthy, but I wanted to treat myself. And it's got like lion's mane and ginseng and green tea. So I'm probably going to be wigging out like a crackhead in about 5 minutes. But it tastes healthy, which usually means it tastes bad. And it does. It tastes bad. But that's okay. Now, moving on. The most important segment of the week, did the Lions win? Did the Detroit Lions win? And you bet your ass they did. They went on Monday Night Football, and they kicked Jimmy G's pretty boy ass on national television. We're 6-2. It's the bye week. All is well. And I'm in a good mood, so we can move on. Yeah? Okay. Great. The funniest shit ever happened. This might be one of my favorite storylines of the year. A hilarious story coming out of North Dakota, which I'm still convinced is not a real place. This entire story could be made up because I don't think that North Dakota is real, and I don't think that people actually live there. But if people did live in North Dakota, they would probably be like these two. There was a couple in North Dakota, boyfriend and girlfriend. They've been together for 10 years. The man found out that he inherited $30 million, and his girlfriend found out that he was planning on leaving her. Now, these two are in their late 40s, I believe. And not that it's relevant to the story, but not quite easy on the eyes. Right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean. And which makes him, it funnier. He inherits 30 million. He's like, peace out. I'm going to go find me something a little sweeter. You know what I mean? He's like, I got big bags now. I'm about to be moving like Derek Jeter in New York. Sorry, sweetheart. The decade's been great, but I got finer fish to fry. She finds this out. On the way to meet with a lawyer, they're all together, her, him, and 2 other of their friends in the car on the way to the airport to meet this lawyer that he's supposed to meet to sign the papers to validate this inheritance. On the way there, he starts feeling ill, right? He's not feeling good. And she insists that it was a heat stroke and he needed to go home and lie down. They're like, maybe we should take him to the hospital. Like, he's writhing in pain right now. And he says he feels like disoriented. And she's like, no, it's just the heat. We just need to take him home and lie down. Well, you guessed it. He dies. And you guessed it. She poisoned him. She poisoned him with antifreeze. Now, my first question is, did she think that nobody was going to find out? Like, what are these people ever thinking when they poison their loved ones? Oh, man inherits $30 million and the next day he dies suddenly. Maybe we should do a toxicology report to see if the bitter, salty girlfriend maybe had something to do with it. She did. The woman's name, Miss Knoyer, such a Dakota name, told investigators after Mr. Riley's death, the man who died, that she was entitled to part of the inheritance because she was his common law wife and she planned to split the money with Mr. Riley's son. So in some states, they have what's called common law marriages, which is a rule that like a longtime couple can be considered married without having gone through former legal marriage process, right? So this woman thought that her boyfriend of 10 years, because they had been together for 10 years, if he inherited this $30 million and then suddenly died, that she would be able to inherit the money because of a common law marriage law. The problem is she failed to check if North Dakota actually had this law. It's a statewide law. It's a state-mandated law. And North Dakota doesn't have the law. So she poisoned this motherfucker to get his money and wouldn't have even got his money because the state doesn't have the law. The bigger plot twist, it turns out this inheritance that this guy got was an email scam. This poor, stupid fucking guy didn't even inherit $30 million. He fell for a Nigerian prince-type email scam. They were on the way to meet some mystery lawyer at the airport to claim his inheritance that he didn't even have. It was made up. The lawyer doesn't exist. He's Kaiser Soze. Dude. I mean, you know, that's just nature doing its work. That's nature doing its thing, right? That's just the survival of the fittest taking themselves out. You know what I mean? I feel bad for the guy. I don't think he deserved to die. But dude, an email scam? Dude, if I got an email that was like, hey, your long-lost relative that you've never heard of died and you've inherited $30 million. Hey, can you meet me at the airport to sign some docs and we'll just wire that on over to you? You got it. Your sixth sense has got to tingle just a little bit. And this fucking woman, I mean, dude, antifreeze, you know? She just emptied out the Windex bottle into some sweet tea and served it to him, and he sipped it on down, and I mean, maron. Oh yeah, I feel the lion's mane hitting right now. Just why it's just coursing through me from this drink. So yeah, this woman's going to jail forever. Nobody made any money, and 2 people's lives are ruined. Probably more than 2 people's lives are ruined. And you know, these they deserve it, both of them. Sadly, a little bit, kind of. She definitely deserves it. That fucking moron. Okay, moving on. Let's get into some music, yeah? Let's kind of get into the music week. So yeah, I had a clip go viral as my clips tend to do, right? Because, you know, I drop a clip, 1 out of every 3 goes astronomical. Because that's kind of the aim on the Good Luck podcast. I spread the good word, and then that word then spreads through the social media pipeline because the algorithm is finally smiling down upon me. I dropped a clip about BMI, where I talk about BMI's royalty increase and how BMI has decided they want to take 5% more from songwriters. And I had an Instagram live with Tiffany Red from the 100%ers. We talked about it some more. I've had a lot of conversations over the past week. My phone has fucking exploded from people in the music industry, very high up in the music industry, who, I mean, they awakened the beast. Do you know what I mean? I've talked to people at labels. I've talked to publishers. I've talked to other people at other PROs. I've talked to people at that PRO. I've talked to anybody you could ever imagine in the music industry over the week. My calendar has looked like Gary Vee's calendar this week, just taking all these calls. And something kind of presented itself to me in a couple of these conversations. I spoke with somebody who'd like to remain anonymous, who brought something to my attention, that the Copyright Royalty Board conveniently finalized their phonorecords decision recently. In millions and millions and millions of dollars in back pay from 2018 to 2022 is supposed to be paid out to songwriters because the mechanical royalty rate has been raised from 10% to 15% over those 5 years, right? This ruling was just determined. And conveniently, as an estimated $200 million in royalties are supposed to be paid out to songwriters and to publishers, conveniently, BMI has suddenly decided to do this royalty hike from 10% to a minimum of 15%. The goal is 15%. So I just think it's a little interesting and convenient timing from BMI, who decided all of a sudden they want to take a bigger bump in royalties. Because by going from 10% to 15+% of royalties taken, when this royalty payout, this back pay payout is paid, they'll be collecting an additional $10+ million than they would have been. Which means that BMI is going to be taking an extra $10+ million out of songwriters' pockets, out of their members' pockets, conveniently. And I just find that so interesting. I mean, that would be pretty good right before you're trying to do a potential sale. That'd probably help your valuation, right? On your PL. I think that publishers, and this is not alluding to any conversations I've had over the week, publishers need to stand in solidarity with writers and their own bags and should pull their catalog works from BMI and stop working with them. Okay, you want to take more money from us and from our clients? Bet. We'll go somewhere else. And you just watch. They may have opened up a can of worms and spilled it all over their fucking selves, because the publishers are not going to fuck with this. You think songwriters are pissed off? You should have heard the phone calls that I've had this week from people in the major publishers, the tiny publishers, and everywhere in between. Motherfuckers are hot. Okay, now let's laugh. On the way here, someone sent me this clip of French Montana playing Future, a beat in the studio. I don't know when this is from. I have done zero research into this. The song has not come out, and you'll see probably why. I've only got to listen to it like one time for like 10 seconds in the parking lot before I came in here to make sure it was funny, and it's funny. So I'm going to play this fucking beat and play this clip. Here we go. Bro, listen to this beat. What is this beat? Who made this beat? This is the wackest beat I've ever heard in my fucking life. And I've heard a lot of whack-ass beats. I mean, listen to this beat. Arg, matey. You know what I mean? Arg. Shiver me timbers, Timbaland. Type beat. You know what I mean? Dude, the audacity to pull up in a studio session with Future and play this Davy Jones locker ass beat. Future should have made him walk the plank, dude. After playing this beat. Listen to this beat. Dude, I can't get over how horrible this beat is. This shit is 45 BPM. Is this the Backyardigans theme song? This sounds like an animated kids cartoon theme song. It sounds like the Barney theme. It sounds like they flipped the Barney theme song. I love you. Listen to this shit. I love you. You love me. Bro, and Future is just trying so hard to like not be like, yo, turn this shit off, bro. This beat. This merry-go-round ass beat. This sounds like when you're on the merry-go-round. I would walk out of the studio, bro. I just have to leave. If I was in the studio with French and Future and this shit came on and they're like, all right, Gino, hop in there, give us something. I'd be like, no, I'm out of here. What, I'm going to hop in the fucking booth and be like, backpack, 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 backpack. You know? This is what George Washington played when he crossed the Delaware River in the Revolutionary War. We're going to get independence from Great Britain. This shit is so... Dude, I got to find out who made that beat and make sure they never make music again. That person should be banned from every studio. I got to speak with Chalice, East West. I got to talk to Universal. I got to talk to Record Plant. We can't let that motherfucker in the studio ever again. Holy shit, man. On the other end of that token, someone sent me a clip, I think to make fun of. And it was a clip of Young Thug in the studio. And it's Young Thug in the booth. And I'm going to play it. And this is not going to be what you think I'm going to say when you hear this. So here's Young Thug in the booth.
Bitch, you gonna listen to what I got to say? Come on. Man, first and the best time. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so with no context, of course, this sounds fucking insane, right? And all the comments on the video are like, you know, is this what rap music is? Is this is terrible. Bring back lyrics. What is he saying? You know. And all those people are people that have actually never been in a studio and don't know how songs are made. So what he's doing in the studio, this is a part of top lining. And a lot of writers, even some of the best writers in the game, they might not go in the booth and do that exactly. But he's in there trying to find melodies and like weird pockets. And obviously some of that also is ad-libbing. But you need to be able to go into a studio. The best writers today, especially, are the ones who will go in there and are fearless and will just try insane stuff and just let it come out of you. You know what I mean? Naturally. And Young Thug is an alien. This motherfucker is the GOAT of finding melodies and weird pockets. There's very few people like that. And he's also a booth writer. And what a booth writer is, a lot of times booth writers sound like that if you don't know what's going on. You know, they'll go in there and they'll kind of just write the song as it goes. They'll just do it on the fly. And it's not quite freestyling, but they'll go in there and find different melodies, and as they find the melodies, then they'll start writing the words to the melodies, and they'll just keep punching in. So it would be like, let's say you're trying to find a melody, and it's like, I was finding a ways, just having decided to say, and like, out in the days, and they're like, okay, cool, I like that melody, and then they'll be like, play that back, and they'll be like, out in the days, I mean, you want to say, and then they'll be like, okay, let's try it, and they'll go like, I was alone for a day. Now, one more time, and then the engineer will have to go back and record again, and they'll go, I was alone for a day, and they'll be like, now let me try it one more time, and then they'll be like, I don't care what you say, and they'll be like, now let me, and they'll be, I do not care what you say, and they'll be like, now let me do it again, and it sounds insane, but they will literally go like that line by line until they have a line that they like. So then the line, let's say the line is, bitch, I was born for the day. And then they'll be like, okay, after that. And then it'll play, bitch, I was born for a day. And then it'll be like, I did not came away. Again. I was alone for the sake. Again. What would you say? Again. I would have won for my cake. Again. And they will literally just go back and record again. And go back and record again. And they'll do it on the fly. I want a piece of the cake. Okay, good. Next. And then they'll move on. So it'll be like, bitch, I was born for the day. I want a piece of the cake. Came in along in the ray. Again. I want my ocean to spray. Again. I got the clip and I spray. Again. Banana clip and it gonna spray. Okay, then moving on. And they will literally go like, and it sounds crazy, but this is how a lot of people write. And the thing about booth writing is that 99% of the people that booth write are fucking terrible at it. And as a writer and a producer who's been in the industry for many years, I've worked with many booth writers. And when I tell you, I've told, back when I was published, I told my publisher, do not put me in with the booth writer, because there are about 4 booth writers that I like working with. And those are, off the top of my head, Beam, Derek Milano, Jazzy, I'm blanking, I'm forgetting somebody who else. They are the only booth writers that I will work with. SP, he's not really a booth writer though. SP can also, like, he can be a booth writer, but those are the best in the game. And they're the best. I mean, they fucking crush and they make hits. The reason booth writing is so hard is because if you sit in there long enough, you can come up with something. But to write a hit in the booth, to write a hit booth writing, it's fucking next to impossible. And, as someone who's like all about the formula, I love writing in the room so I can look at everything and map everything out. But there's something to be said about people that just let it come through them and can just do it off top like that. And also they bang out so many tracks at such a volume. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in Miami with Beam and SP and Alicia, and we were working with Internet Money. And it was like 2 a.m. I had just done a session with Scott Storch next door. And I was ready to go to bed. And I pulled up, and we did fucking 7 songs in like 2 hours. That's insane, okay? That output is insane. And that's the shit that some of these booth writers are capable of. Young Thug is one of those people who will go in the booth and just fucking rip it off, dude. It's crazy. So yeah, no Young Thug slander coming out of me. Free Young Thug. Okay. Let's get into our main story. We got a spicy one today. We're staying on music, and we're going to talk about Spotify's new royalty structure. There was huge news that came out from Music Business Worldwide this week about Spotify and what they are going to be doing in their royalty payout model in Q1. Sorry, I'm just drinking a little bit of water. So, Spotify plans a significant change to its royalty payout model in Q1 of 2024. The company aims to redirect $1 billion in royalty payments over 5 years to legitimate artists and rights holders. And they're going to do it with 3 major changes that they've announced. The first one, which is what has everybody up in arms, they're setting a minimum stream threshold before royalties are generated, which means you have to reach a certain stream count before you get paid at all. I believe it's if you're in the 0.5% that doesn't hit that threshold, you don't get paid. You make no royalties. $0. That's the first thing. The second thing is they're defining a minimum playtime for non-music noise tracks to earn royalties. This one I didn't fully understand, even after reading it. I guess there's a lot of like noise music, like just background, like white noise for people who maybe have trouble sleeping or have hearing things and they need white noise to play. There's a bunch of just white noise music that is, people are putting them out on Spotify to like cheat royalties and make money. So they're setting a minimum playtime for those tracks to earn royalties. And the third thing, which is the spiciest of all the things, is that Spotify will be penalizing distributors, including record labels, for streaming fraud. And that is huge. Streaming fraud has been plaguing this industry for as long as I can remember. And we're going to dive into that because it's pretty crazy. So the aim here is to, put more money into middle-class musicians' pockets. That's what they say. I think that is partially true. But I think it also is obviously in effect to stop motherfuckers from taking advantage of them, like labels. So let's start with stream fraud because I think we should work backwards here. So stream farms are basically services that are used by labels, independent artists, and many to fake streams to obviously generate larger views, generate more royalties, just hit my fucking mic stand, generate more royalties, and take money out of the pockets of legitimate artists. Because basically Spotify has one giant royalty pool that is paid out, and stream farms take from that royalty pool. Additionally, advertising is less effective because these stream farms, none of them are paid accounts. All these stream farms are pretty much using free Spotify accounts. So advertising is hitting those people, and they're not real fucking people. They're not real customers, which means those ads, targeted ads, non-targeted ads, are less effective, which means more ad spend, more ads. It's fucking up everybody's shit. The consumer, the ad companies, the companies, everybody. So the way stream farms usually work, there's a couple. I know people will see you've probably seen photos of a bunch of iPhone 4s just interconnected into a server room. And that's kind of how it works. There's basically a remote server, which will feed into a database, which will feed into a central server. Okay. So you got all these computers and phones with these faux pas Spotify free accounts into a database, funnels into a central server, which funnels into usually AWS cloud services, right? And those servers then hit the bots, go through a VPN into Spotify streams. So before, back in the day, you could always tell when someone was using stream farming because all their plays were coming from parts of Brazil and the Philippines and, I'm blanking, but just there was 3 main stream farm cities, and you could pretty much tell if all of your views were only coming from there. Oh, that's interesting. Nobody gives a fuck about you in the States, but you've got 20 million streams in Brazil. Huh. Peculiar. Well, then people started figuring out in these stream farms, let's run it through a VPN. A VPN scrambles your IP address. They can make it come from anywhere in the world, which means that You can be in the Philippines and it will look like you're streaming from Los Angeles, California. So Spotify has been trying to combat this for years. They've apparently figured it out. And they're going to be destroying the record labels who are using these stream farms because a lot of your favorite artists have inflated numbers. You can pay $1,000 to get 200,000 streams. I mean, less. I'm sorry. You can pay $100 sometimes. Give you 100,000 streams. And that pays. It's a pyramid scheme of streaming. And the people that are affected the most are motherfuckers like me who make real music, and I'm making less royalties because all these fucking labels are using stream farms for their artists. Maybe on some of my songs. I don't know. In my conspiracy theory mind, every song but my songs. So let's talk about this threshold. This is going to be a controversial take. I'm going to take a swig of this fucking lion's mane ginseng drink because I'm going to need the energy. This is going to be controversial. I know what everyone thinks I'm going to say. Everyone thinks I'm going to get on here and I'm going to say, Spotify setting a minimum stream threshold is bad for artists and bad for music. Well, guess what? I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I think it's a good idea. Now, there's going to be some hiccups and there's going to be some problems with it. But let me tell you why I like it. I like it because there is too much music today. There's too much music. Over 120,000 new tracks are uploaded to DSPs a day. Over 22 million uploads and growing a year. That is an old number, the 22 million a year. I'm not going to do the mental math on the fly, but 120,000 a day sounds like more. Should we bust out the fucking computer calculator? Sure, let's do it. Maybe I'm going to look really dumb real quick, but I don't care. Times 365. That is over 44 million. So the number's doubled. I mean, I'm doing the math right here, guys. 120,000 songs a day times 365 is 43,800,000 songs uploaded a year. That's too much music. Okay? And of those 43 million songs that are uploaded, most of them are garbage. And not only literal garbage, as in like the song sucks, but I mean nobody's listening to it. It's just litter. The song sucks, no one's listening to it, it's just litter. And for Spotify, it's very difficult to manage all that music. And when it's just free for people to upload, also uploading like bullshit and trying to like steal streams and doing streaming fraud and all these things, it's bad for everybody. And it's going to get 100 times worse. Because with generative AI, you can generate songs at an output 10 times the speed of which you could prior. And with generative AI, somebody who sucks at making music can make a decent song now. Services like Moobert and Boomy have generated millions of AI-made tracks in the past few months. So you've got 43 million songs being uploaded a year, and you're about to have millions and millions and millions of AI songs coming out. And I hate to say it, but with this high volume of tracks, a significant percentage of those tracks on streaming have minimal or no streams. And if you eliminate those from getting a payout, the middle class musician, the working class musician, most of the people that make music, independent artists and songwriters and producers, they're going to make more money. We have to do something to combat these payouts. 0.003 cents a stream. You hear me scream it every time I'm on this podcast. It is no money. And we have to do something. And this is something. And I'm sorry, but if you're uploading music on Spotify and you're not getting any listens, if you're not getting enough listens on Spotify to hit that threshold, work harder. You're not there yet. Oh, you want to get paid even though you're not hitting the threshold? What, do you want a check for $4 fucking dollars? This is bullshit. Spotify's got a new streaming threshold. I'm not going to get paid because I don't hit the threshold. Oh yeah, you want your check for $46? Dude, I'm sorry, but music needs to get competitive again. We're missing competition from music. When Simba was on here a few episodes ago, we talked about this. Music is missing competition. We're handing out fucking participation trophies to everybody. If you want to do this shit for real, you got to work harder. I didn't start making money in music until I was making music for over 12 years. I was poor as fuck, broke as fuck, working every day until I made a dime in music. Net negative. Until my first publishing deal. You got to work harder. If you're upset about this, I get it. You feel targeted and you feel like big tech is taking money out of my pockets. Yeah, kinda. But it's putting it in the pockets of people who are probably working harder than you. And if they're not working harder than you, they're working smarter than you. So you got to get off your soapbox and figure out a way to hit this threshold. It's not crazy. It's not like the top 80% are, it's like 0.5%. So this is going to put a spotlight on legitimate content. Less noise in the system. Genuine tracks have a better chance of discovery because there's just less tracks. You understand what I'm saying? For record labels, a more transparent system can simplify royalty calculations and distribution. Labels benefit when royalties aren't siphoned off by fraudulent tracks. And labels can prioritize promoting tracks with higher potential for plays and revenue. They're not going to just put out bullshit. They're going to need to re-strategize their content distribution and promotion to consider this new model. You're going to have more quality because Spotify is trying to, at least what it seems like, they're trying to cater to quality over quantity. And by God, do we need it. You know that I'm not normally on the same side of Spotify. This might be the first time ever. You know that meme where it's like, heartbreaking, guy you hate has a good point? That's this meme. For fans, better content discovery. With fewer low quality bullshit tracks and fraudulent tracks, fans can discover quality content more easily. Playlists might become more cohesive now with the removal of bullshit tracks. Fans can be more confident that their streams support genuine artists. As a fan, you can go find the middle class musician better because there's just less bullshit to comb through. We need to make music competitive again. Give me the Hunger Games. And you know what? If you just love making music and you want to make music because you love making music, this shouldn't bother you anyway. They're not saying you can't put music out. You're just not going to get paid $14 for it. This is a good thing. Now, is there a world where it becomes not a good thing? Sure. Here's my fear with this, what I think Spotify's doing with this, for better or for worse. They are going to use this as a way to peddle their new discovery mode for artists. I talked about discovery mode on a previous episode, but discovery mode is essentially a way for Spotify to give you less money, but put your music out in front of more people and a higher chance of discovery, right? Now, the problem with this is it's a zero-sum game. It's a race to zero. If everybody feels like they have to use discovery mode because I gotta make that threshold, I gotta use discovery mode, Spotify can then pay out less royalties until everybody is using discovery mode and then nobody is getting more exposure because everybody's using it. However, everybody is getting less money. This is the fear. So while I think it's a good move that they put this threshold in, the caveat, the dangerous part of it is that I do think that they may have a dark agenda. So what do? Well, we don't use discovery mode. Simple. Problem is, I feel like a lot of people are going to use it because people don't care. People don't value their own art. And everybody needs exposure. And I get that. And that's kind of what sucks about it is like everybody needs exposure. People don't care about royalties. They want exposure. The problem is the kind of exposure you're getting isn't real exposure. And you need to value your art. We need to reprice music. If you want to prioritize quality and make art fine art again, like it used to be, instead of fast food, you need to value it. You need to give a fuck about it and care about it. And that means you got to put the work in. Instead of taking the shortcut with Spotify discovery mode and getting put in front of a bunch of people who don't even know who you are and don't give a fuck about you, do the work, figure out how to market yourself, make a great quality product and brand as an artist, and then you'll make money. You'll make fans. I know it's hard. There's a lot of music out there, but this is the path forward. You cut corners, the results speak for themselves, you know? And like, I get everybody wants to make more Look, royalties to me are the biggest issue right now in every industry, in entertainment as a whole. I've talked about it maybe on the last 10 episodes. Because royalties have been decimated by the streaming era, in both film and music. And the way to collect is outdated. Not only is the payout so fucking low, but the way it's collected is from like the 80s. It's time to update the model. And that's going to be a segue into a sponsored segment. That's right, motherfuckers. We're back with another sponsored segment. Your boy is getting the sponsors. But this isn't just some regular sponsor that hit me to work and I'm just like selling my soul to make it a buck. This is something I'm very passionate about. And I've done a spot with them before, and we're back again for another fun one. And we're talking about music NFTs again. And it's could not be a more pertinent time. It could not come at a more relevant moment. I've joined forces with the folks over at Kraken to get past the flashy headlines and break down what crypto can mean for the music industry. So we're going to talk music NFTs. I did a song called The Other Side with a virtual artist named Angel Baby a little while back. And It did over $125,000 in volume on OpenSea. With only 50 music NFTs, we did the equivalent of 10 million streams in royalties. Yeah. Insane. And I want to talk about royalties and what crypto and blockchain can mean for royalties. I've talked about it on previous episodes, but I really want to hone in on it. With the news of BMI taking an increased cut from artists and songwriters, of our already low payouts from DSPs, the future is blockchain. The future is crypto. Instead of waiting 3 quarters for royalties from PROs, smart contracts, like the ones that are on the Ethereum network, ensure that every time a song is streamed or purchased, the smart contract triggers an instant payment to the artist. So with the other side, my music NFT, anytime it's streamed, sold, bought, traded, I get an instant payment sent to my wallet. Me and all my collaborators that are built into that smart contract, we get paid our royalties instantly. And we get paid the amount that are set in the contract every time, globally, no matter where we are in the world. We don't have to wait. So these PROs that want to take more money from us, that take forever to pay us because they refuse to update their system, they're going to take this 5% increase and they're going to put it right in their fucking pockets. Instead of updating the system, you don't have to wait with NFTs. You don't have to wait with blockchain. And when you have issues like streaming fraud, Spotify's been trying to figure out how to figure out who's using streaming fraud, who's buying streams, who's using stream farms. Blockchain is completely transparent. It's an immutable public ledger. You can't fake the funk, baby. You can't use stream farms. You can't manipulate volume without it being out in the open for the public to see. Smart contracts can be programmed to automatically split royalties amongst everybody. You don't have to worry about disputes. You don't have to worry about going back and changing it. There are songs that I have that have been out on radio for years that I'm still in disputes over because after the song came out and it was a smash hit, somebody said, wait a minute, I actually want more. I want a larger percentage. And now I'm stuck in a legal battle for fucking 2 years and nobody gets paid. Not a problem with crypto. Not an issue on blockchain. It's immutable. It's permanent. Not an issue. Now look, I don't think the killer app exists yet that changes the music industry forever. It's obviously still an evolving technology, but it's just a matter of time. And the creatives in the music industry are ready for change. All the high-level convos I've had in the past 3 years have been surrounding Web3 and how it's going to reshape music and how blockchain is going to change royalties and how music NFTs are going to change the industry and the way that fans interact with artists, direct to consumer. I just talked about it last week with Taylor Swift. We're moving direct to consumer. We don't need the middlemen, and blockchain removes the middlemen. Crypto eliminates the middlemen, which means more royalties for artists, faster payouts of royalties for artists, better engagement with fans, building real connections. So you don't have to go through Spotify discovery mode to be discovered. You can build a legitimate fan base of people that are willing to invest in you and your music and build with you and grow with you. And it's what excites me the most about it. And it's why when Kraken hit me up to do this spot, I was super stoked to do it. Because I love talking about this shit for free. I could sit up here and rant and rave about music NFTs for free. So if you want to tap in and start your crypto journey, do it with Kraken. If you're a creator, an artist, a songwriter, a producer, a musician of any kind, they're a safe gateway to get started in crypto, especially as the music industry evolves. And look, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go invest a bunch of money in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm not saying to do all that, but look into it. Get started. You know what I mean? You don't want to sleep on this shit. You don't want to be chasing this fucking 7 years from now. Like, fuck, I can't believe I haven't been building this up. You know what I mean? Don't be late again. Okay? Signing up is super easy on their website. The link is going to be here or whatever, or in my bio or somewhere. I don't fucking know. You'll find it. The link will be there. That's how you sign up. Super easy. Okay? Good? Good. Great. Let me take a sip of water and we're going to move on to our final segment. And you know what that is, right? It's everybody's favorite segment. The FOHHOF. The Fuck Outta Here Hall of Fame. And this week on the FOHHOF, the latest inductee. Well, goddamn it, wouldn't you know it's another entrepreneur bro. We're back with another entrepreneur bro as we continue our war on motherfuckers just talking. And this week it's this guy who has this clip.
Buy 10 rental houses before you're 30 years old. If you can buy 10 rental houses before you're 30 and you own those 10 rental houses at the age of 30 and you don't buy another piece of real estate for the next 25 years, when you're 55, more than likely, all of those properties are going to be paid for. And if, let's just say you still have a balance on all 10 because you put them on 30-year notes, you can sell off more than likely 2 or 3 and pay the rest off. So now you're sitting there with 7 homes paid for that you have tenants in and you have cash flow coming in every month. So think about that. If you literally had 7 rental properties making you $2,000 a month, that's $14,000 a month. That's called financial freedom.
Nice. All I got to do is buy 10 rental properties? Why didn't I think of that? Oh, that's it? That's all I got to do? Buy 10 rental properties before I'm 30? How am I going to buy 10 rental properties before I'm 30 if I can't buy 1 rental property before I'm 30? What do these motherfuckers think that millennials are doing? Oh, shit. I didn't realize I could just go buy 10 rental homes and rent them out. Oh, that's a great idea. You got a course I can buy? If I go to your bio, you got a course I can buy to teach me how to do that? Dude, motherfuckers can't buy 1 house today. You can't just go buy, most people can't afford a house. Sorry I wasn't born 20 years earlier where I could put $8,000 down for a $90,000 4-bedroom house that's worth $700,000 now. Sorry I was born in 1992 and I didn't get to do that. These guys swear that we're out just buying avocado toast and $7 lattes and choosing not to buy a bunch of houses. How are we supposed to buy houses when VC firms are buying up everything and marking it all up? Have you looked at the housing market? House prices are astronomical. The bank is not giving out loans to people. To get a $300,000 home, you need to be making about $85,000 a year in reported income. With steady income. First of all, what house in a major city costs $300,000? All the houses in major cities are being bought by VC firms who are marking it all up. And guess what? No one's living in them. Downtown LA is a ghost town. From VC firms just buying up all these fucking apartment complexes and buildings and no one is living in them. This whole thing is fucking, it's fugazi, it's fairy dust. None of it's real. I can't wait for this whole shit to fall apart. The Sun Belt right now, like in Arizona and like especially like Phoenix, it's all rental homes owned by VC firms like Kraken, who are just buying up all these fucking homes and renting them out to millennials. We are forced to live in a rental economy. Everything we do costs so much goddamn money with inflation going crazy. And we have to lease and rent everything. They don't want us to own shit. Do you understand? Nobody wants us to own anything. That's why ownership is so important. It's why I'm so big on blockchain and digital assets. Ownership in the future, in the digital age. Because as far as homes go, good luck. You better make some fucking bread if you want to buy a house in 2023, in 2024, in 2025. This housing market is going to crash to shit. The banks are going to go fucked. The government's going to bail it out. And all the banks, after crashing the economy again, all these VC firms and all this greed, after crashing the economy again, they're going to get bailed out by the government. The housing market's going to crash. They're going to have an influx of cash. And guess what? While everybody else is poor and broke as fuck from another depression, they're going to go buy up everything else that's left for pennies on the dollar. And then I got to get on TikTok and listen to this fucking gray fox tell me that the reason that I don't have financial freedom is because I haven't gone out and bought 10 rental properties. Oh, shucks. Why stop there? I should get 20 rental properties. Yeah, I mean, yes, having 10 rental properties is a way to make financial freedom. But dude, you're not poor because you didn't go buy 10 rental properties. You couldn't. You can't. And the only way to do that is if you already have a bunch of money. And a bunch of these fucking real estate guys that are like 54 who are getting on here saying that millennials are lazy. Dude, you were just born 20 years before I was. And you bought property when it was a penny of what it's worth now. And you sat on it. You're not a fucking genius, okay? These motherfuckers, man. Listen to this. Listen one more time. This smug. Listen to this.
Buy 10 rental houses before you're 30 years old. If you can buy 10 rental houses before you're 30 and you own those 10 rental houses at the age of 30 and you don't buy another piece of real estate for the next 25 years, when you're 55, more than likely, all of those properties are going to be paid for.
Wow. Thanks, bud. You know what I mean? If you buy 10 rental properties before you're 30 and you don't buy one more rental property for the next 25 years, yeah, no shit, dude. Thanks. Fuck. I can't take it anymore, man. They're wearing me down. Guys, well, hey, I tell you what. That's going to do it for today's episode. I want to thank you for listening to Good Luck. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you've given me a 5-star rating. Make sure you've shared it with a loved one or an enemy. If you're on YouTube, which you should be, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment below. And make sure you thank yourself. Yeah. Look in the mirror today and tell yourself you look beautiful. Unless you don't, then well, maybe do it anyway and lie to yourself. Guys, again, I want to thank you for listening. Until next week, as the world continues to crumble into madness, good night and good luck.
Good night and good luck. You smile and say goodbye to me, but I don't give a fuck. You hop in the Uber off to your future. Good night and good luck. You try to play your cards with me, but I'm calling your bluff, 'cause it wasn't enough. Night and good luck.